Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the pre-market homework session, analysis, and pre-market trade plan setup for Friday, August 29th, 2014. My name is Doug McKay, and you are here because we have a self-organized learning environment. We have just had our 5th anniversary. We have a private Skype room. If you're interested in coming and checking it out, send me a Skype request at Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada, or you can send me an email to d.mckay@stealthtrader.com. Before we get going, I have to go through the can't talk this morning. I'll have to go through the disclaimer. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand the knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for your trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk or loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see in here are for education purposes only. Please do your own due diligence and trade your own trade plan. Okay, so let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday morning, we had a scenario where we opened auction out of range, and we were using the 91.25 as our line. My main hypothesis was that if we got below 91.25, get short into the 88, which was the naked close, with a possibility of an extension down to 86, and then we had a trade zone at 85.50. Then we broke up above 91, and we went up and tested the 93, and I came back in the room, and I said, listen, they left the overnight low. The overnight low yesterday was down at, 1987.50. I came on here, I said, listen, they left the overnight low by 1 tick or 2 ticks. I said, if we break into the range from the prior day and get above 93.50, don't even think about it, just get long into the 97 VPOC and then take out the 97.50. Well, was it ever a slow bleed up yesterday? You know, we got up there and we teased that VPOC and teased that overnight high. The 96 probability shifted to taking out the overnight high, and what did they do? They just rotated in around the 96, and then finally in the ETH they exonerated me, and they went up and they took it up to 99.50, I think it was. So they actually, technically, we had a very low percentage day. We had a 4% day where we did not take out the overnight high or no overnight low, because that percentage is based on the regular trading hours. We didn't really do it until and we got into the extended session, but they finally did it, so I felt exonerated that that it finally happened. But it was still a good long above 93.50, and if you weren't long above 93.50, you didn't want to short at all. So let's start, and I've got some stuff I want to talk about because, as you know, my hypothesis is that we've hit critical mass, and I said yesterday and the day before, if we got above 2,000, that the sellers are likely to capitulate, and that we should get a holiday drift up and and a pop higher. Now the key here is in Globex, we've gone up and made a new all-time high. We have a new all-time high at 2,375. As always, excuse me. Anytime they put a new all-time high in the Globex, the regular trading hour participants don't like that, and we are likely to go up and take out that 2003. Now there's a lot of news this morning, so let's go take a look at what we've got for news. This is all in Eastern time. We had at 8:30 we had Canadian GDP, we had Canadian RMPI, IPPI, and then we had U.S. core PCE price index, personal spending, and personal income. So we've had a little bit of a movement off of the news. The big news, of course, will be at 9:45, so 15 minutes into the RTH session, is we're going to have the Chicago PMI. That's going to be the big news. And remember that at 9:55, we've got the revised University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations right behind it. So that first, 25, 30 minutes is going to be very important to see whether or not we get a rotation back down towards that 96. 96 is the 3-day VPOC right now, the microcomposite VPOC. Whether we have to go down there and pick up buyers and then they go up to 2,000 and rip it will depend, I think, on what news we get. So let's start with the macro to micro, as I always like to do. See where we are within the trend, within the time frames. You can see we made a new all-time high, all-time high in the month, all-time high in the S&P E-mini. Good slope, good separation. Trend is very intact on the monthly. Doesn't change much in the weekly as well. We have a move up. We do have a technical gap. I'm sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. We do have a technical gap on the weekly, and I expect that gap to be closed, and we'll talk about where I think it's going to close now. But the trend itself is very much intact on the monthly. The daily, we took out that technical gap yesterday with that move down to 87.50 in the Globex, and then we ripped off of it. And again, we closed the gap and created a new gap in one day. So we still have a technical gap going, but we have a great trend going on the daily. Just keep in mind that we have a naked cross down here at 1946, 1947 area. So I do anticipate that this area is very, 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 very rare that we leave a naked cross alone. And we've got one on the daily. Not saying it's going to be taken out today, but if you're looking for a target below, and when this sucker rolls over, there's your target right there. 1946, 1947 would be your first target on a larger time frame. Going over to the geometrics again, I would keep talking about the fact that there's no opposing fork that I can find. So basically, we got to look at the move and the probability that we're going to go and test the upper line of the lower time frame fork. And I think you even have to think about the center line now that we're inside of the longer term upward sloping fork as a possibility of where they're going to take this, and that brings us into the 2050 area. But right now we're only concerned with this move up here, which takes us up to 2016, 2017 area. Of course, if that's where we'd hit today, if we went up and tested it. Personally, I'm looking at that 2010, especially with the fact that we hit critical mass and we're likely to get a holiday drift in the afternoon if the move is up and we keep drifting up through the afternoon. Going down to the intraday trend, just to take a look at where we are. Intraday coming into the market. We were looking like we're going to start to roll over, and we had some weakness yesterday in the Globex, and then in the RTH they took it up and they ripped it back above the 9 and the 20. We've got an MA squeeze and hug going on right now, but we're holding above. We went and put in that new all-time high in the Globex. I anticipate that 2003.75 will be taken out. So if we get above 2000, I think it's a no-brainer. Get long. I think that's what we're setting up for today, and I think they're going to rip it even up to our secondary and main target at 2005, 50, and then 2010. But of course, we don't trade what we think; we trade what we see. Going down to the 30-minute, you can see a little bit of the news fall off here. I didn't even see what the news was, but there was a lot of it out, so obviously they didn't like it very much, and we kind of rolled over. We're trading below the 9 and the 20 right now, and so we've got no real trend going on, but we got consolidation going on in the 30-minute. I'm sure if we go down to the 5-minute, it's going to look more like a trend down. So right now we do have the start of the trend on the 5-minute coming into the Globex. We are getting some consolidation, a little bit of a weak low here, so we could even go lower. If we do continue down, I'm looking at a responsive buying coming in at that 1996 area. So let's go take a look at that and see what this looks like on the bigger picture. You can see that I've included yesterday into the microcomposite, which shifted originally yesterday the 3-day microcomposite was up here at 1998.50 with the amount of trading that we did in that 1995 area in the afternoon. I've added the day from yesterday into the microcomposite, and you can see clearly that we have the 4-day microcomposite VPOC now at 1996. We're currently trading back in the 3-day microcomposite VPOC. You can see if I take this day out, let me do that. Come on, work with me here. You can see that the 3-day where we were trying to hold value is up here at 98.50, but there's more volume that came in yesterday with the amount of trading that we did once we got back into the prior day's body, and we got stuck in the wick there all afternoon at 96 area. So I'm including that because we want to look at where is the most accepted price and where are they holding value and finding value, and since we are trading above 96, they have found value at 96, and if they need to find buyers with conviction, they're likely to come down there. We also have a naked close down here at 96. But if they get above that 2,000, there's actually a little LVN right here at 2,075. So I would actually use 2,075. But above 2,075, you got a clear move up to that Globex high at 2003.75. I would target 2002.75 as your first scale, and again that puts us above the 4-day microcomposite value area high, which is at 99.50. Don't front run 2000. Be safe. Take the 2000 and get long from there. Don't try to be a hero, because sometimes heroes are shot. So let's take a look at the overnight, and we'll move our numbers over. Okay, Doug. There it is. Sorry. So right now, I've put 2,000 as a trade area, but I'm going to move that up to 2,075 because I'm going to be safe. We're going to open. If we open in this area, we're opening outside of value, outside of range. We got to watch for initiative buyers stepping in here and ripping us up to test the 2,000 area and breaking us in and going up. And there's not much to talk about up here. We got 2005.50 and we got 2010, and what was the, let me just bring that up because I want to just mark that on the chart here. The upper line of the short-term upward sloping fork, come on, 2017. So I'm going to mark 2017 as a target as well if we get a real big drift. I'm not expecting real big range extension today, so I'm really looking at 2010 as the number, as a target, upward target today. But if we get extension today, we've been coiling in this area, you could see it even go to 2017 with it being the last day of the month, and we've got critical mass, and we've got a holiday. You never know what's going to happen. Of course, all of this has been going on very, very light volume. Even yesterday, you take a look at this volume, and I think it was only, what, 832,000 again. I mean, just volume 633, 716, 705. I can't wait until we get back into the fall and we get volume coming back in to this market. Sorry, I divest myself. I'm all over the place this morning, aren't I? All right, so 1997 is our overnight low. which is basically one tick below the range high from yesterday. Our overnight VPOC is at 2,150. Don't think it's going to shift. We could get a shift depending on how much more we trade down here at 1999. So just keep that watch for me, and if it shifts, let me know. All right, so we got an overnight VPOC, and then our overnight high is the new all-time high at 2,375. So how would you trade this? Right now, it's pretty clear. I wouldn't try to get short unless we rejected the 2,000 and came down hard. But I think it's risky in this area, and really shorting 97.25 when they could get responsive buyers and rip us up into new highs. What I would do personally is I'm going to use this area right here. Put that in right. I'm going to use the area from the value area high down here at 96.50 to 97.25. I'm simply going to play it like this. I'm anticipating the possibilities that they'll come down and take out the naked close and take out the overnight high and test the value area high. But I don't want to get short until we get below that 96.50. We get below the 96.50, then I'm thinking we might come down and test this LVN. I'm just going to bring this to the front so you can see that. We've got an LVN right here at 94.75. And remember, we were using that 94.50 as a target a few days ago. So I'm going to use that as my target inside of value and inside of range. But you're going to have to be pretty nimble to take the trade into 96 because of the fact that it's the most, we got the VPOC shift late in the day as they just traded sideways. They finally shifted the VPOC up to 96, and that's what, confirmed the fact that I thought that we were going to go and take out that 97.50 Globex high last, in the RTH session, and we didn't. But to short this, it's very tough to short this right now. So you have to wait below 96.50. Now, here's the word of caution that I give you. Okay, if you're going to short the break inside of value, don't risk much to do it, because you could very easily see them, come down to this 96, have responsive buyers come in, and then take it up to the 2,000 and break out of value and break out of range. So to me, this is still a little bit of a risky trade. It's worth taking because you could get a move back down to the 94.75 LVN, and then if we break the 94.75, I think you really got a good shot to take it down to test the range low from yesterday or from the prior day at 93.50 and possibly come down and test the value area low. My own hypothesis today is wait for the break above 2,000 and just get long. It's a holiday, so that's what I'm thinking. But we have to look at the possibility that we could get some weakness. I don't think we're going to get much lower than 91.50 today. And if we do get inside value, we get an 80% destination trade, value area play down to the 91.50. I don't think we're going to see it. If we do break the 91.50. Then I'd be looking for a move down to test the range low at 1988, and then a break below yesterday's value. At that point in time, I think we're going to get, we're in motion to drift lower, and I'd be looking for a move down to 86. I think that's the low probability, so it's there for you, but to me, I think that we're going to open up outside of range, outside of value. We'll probably get an open test drive open and come down and test the 97 area and then find responsive buyers, maybe down to 96 and rotate back up into the 2000s. I don't think that we're going to close below 2000 today. It's just my own personal belief, just due to what we've got above us and the fact that they put in a new all-time high in the Globex. But I'll trade what I see. I think 2075 above that. You're clearly into the 2000s, and we can get higher. Until then, be careful in here. It's likely going to be a choppy open. That's why I'm expecting an open test drive. They are going to defend this 2000 area, so that's why I think that you'll see an OTD. I doubt that we're going to get an open drive where they just come in and rip it above. I think it's going to be a little bit choppy, and why I think an open test drive is the most likely of the scenarios. So really not much more to say in the ES. If you're not sure about your trading or you're struggling with your trading, this would be a very good day to take off. Go have an extremely long weekend and enjoy Memorial Day, and don't risk your money today. If you're struggling with your trading, it's not worth it. Let's take a look at the Russell. So in the Russell, we're back in, again, I keep saying I love this chart because I do love this chart. Our main target all week has been this 1168.30. That is the microcomposite VPOC of this upper distribution area. We went up, and our high yesterday was, where's my high? 1168.20, so we missed it by one tick. But again, in the Globex and in the extended session, they took it up to the 1168.30. The 4-day microcomposite VPOC is up at 1171.40 now. So we have value above. They're struggling it, and I just don't know how much longer we can use this number. But look at that 1166.40. CLVN. That was our number yesterday, and several days, pretty much all week. That 1166.40 is still the level to hold, and if we can stay above 1166.40, look for rotation up into 68, and now move up into the 4-day balance up here at 1171.40. There's not much holding us down. We did reverse off of this 1176. That was the CLVN above the balance of 68.30. It still remains the other side of balance above the 71.40. So if we hold the 66.40, then I'm looking for a rotation back up into 68 and 71 with a continuation and a holiday drift up to test the microcomposite value area high here at 1174.90, possibly even come and test this 1176. If we get above 1176, then I'm looking for a move, of course, up into the 77.50, but the big number for me still remains at 1180.10. I mean, these numbers just, we've been talking about these numbers since, mid-July when we got up here and we were trading within the upper distribution. Now, if we get below the 1166.40, the value area low of the 4-day microcomposite is sitting right there at that CHVN at 1165.50. So you could get in and take the short into 1165. Really, we don't have much below us. This is pretty blunt here on the profile. I'd be looking for a move down to 62.10, possibly back down to this 1159 area. You've got the, last week, not this week, but last week's microcomposite value area high is at 1159.90, which is right at that CHVN. So, if we do get below 62, I think that you got a decent trade down here, but I just don't think we're going to get there. I think we're going to either chop around and get stuck in the wicks right here, above 1166.40 and below 71. But if we get back up into the 71 and and we get a holiday afternoon drift, we could drift up to the 74. But I'm not expecting much downward rotation today in the Russell. And then finally, just take a quick look at gold. Bring these 2 days in. Our current microcomposite is down here at 77. We're back below that 91.70 and trading in around the former price acceptance around that 1288, 1287 area. The CHVN here is 1287. I think we get more chop today, but if we get above 91.70, again, this composite VPOC going back to 2008 is still going to be a magnet, and I think you can take the long above the 91.70 into 96. But I don't think that's going to happen today because I think we're going to drift on the indices up, and therefore I think we're just going to see gold chop. Really, there's no good trade to the short side until we get to 81.10. And then you could short into this 1278, 1277, 1275 area. So to me, holiday, end of the month, end of the week, I'd stay away from gold today. That's my own personal opinion. I'm still running my swing long with my stop down at 1266.20 and my Theo down at 1246. So I'm just not touching gold today, and I'll just hold on, hang on, and hope that we get this rotation coming in the indices, but I don't think it's going to be today. I think we're just going to drift higher and go up and test that 2003.75, possibly those two targets above that 2005.50 and 2010. Anyway, that's it. It's short today, and I apologize I was all over the place, but that's what I'm looking at. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Everybody have a wonderful long weekend. Remember, the markets are open on Sunday night for the Globex, and they will be closing early on Monday. So if you're going to trade, just make sure you get it in the Globex, and or just take the weekend off. Everybody have a great weekend.